Hey kids, Lisa here. It's my birthday. It's June 22nd. It's my birthday. I'm on the Oregon coast. It's beautiful. I just went for a run. I'm all a mess. Um, I want to do a very quick video um, that is a response to an older tag. Okay, so Tiferet Tarot's hashtag 22 faves, where you pick your favorite version of from any deck of each of the 22 trumps. I missed it last month. I didn't have a chance to do it, and so it seems like you missed the boat. There's lots of cool tags, and you can't do them all. But it's 22, and my birthday's on the 22nd, and 22, and I really wanted to do it, so here I am. Hashtag 22 faves. So let's dive right in, shall we? Okay, so mostly I did a different deck for each card, with a couple of exceptions. So the exceptions are first with the Fool. So I couldn't resist Tarot by Seven's version of the Sola Busca Tarot and the Fool from that deck, which is just a card I adore. In fact, my icon for eclectic form is the Sola Busca Fool. So, I mean, first of all, the raven gazing into his eyes, this music with which, the bagpipe. There's so much I could say about this card. The foliage on his hair, the kind of weird foliage coming out of him. I don't even know what that is. I love the kind of surreal, desolate landscape. Anyway, love this card. But this is my favorite Fool. In fact, this card from the Paintures du Monde Tarot is the reason I bought this deck, which I think now is out of print. I got it from Etsy. Love. So this is Piero di Cosimo's, and I can't remember what the actual title of the painting is, but late 15th century. So sort of same Renaissance vintage as Visconti Sforza Tarot itself. And this is a picture of Cheimonette Vespucci. So she was the cousin-in-law of Amerigo Vespucci, the guy who found, whose name Amerigo is why we call America America. And it's just, well, first of all, she's beautiful. The colors are beautiful. I love that kind of profile Renaissance painting. This is, I think, painted on poplar, and I haven't seen it live, but just the kind of creaminess of the old master. So aesthetically, I love it. But the Fool as that kind of Renaissance optimism. The craziness of the Renaissance, the Italian Renaissance especially, like, oh, we humans, we can do anything. It's beautiful. And it's also blind, right? Amerigo Vespucci, hey, we found a new world. There actually are people living on this new world. It's not so new, it belongs to them. So it's that kind of blindness, but also like the beauty and the shadow of that. So I love this Fool. Okay. This is Magic from the Margarete Petersen Tarot. And let me call up my, my notes. Okay. So this is sun, winds, streak the string of a sitar, levels of the birds, air vibrates and pulsates, it sounds through the mask, I am. The soul glides into the body, always new self-design, knowledge about the essence of the elements, fire, earth, air, water, Mercury, dance of sounds, remembering oneness, audible breath, I am. So, this sense of I am, the sense of being, the sense of the unity of the elements, the sense of oneness. To me, integration is at the heart of what the tarot is about, and the Magician is the card that integrates all four elements. That's what's magic about tarot. Lots to say here. Petersen gets it. Okay. Tarot of the Hidden Realm, really different aesthetic. I feel like all of these aesthetics are really different. But this High Priestess, it's so the Fey world, the beauty of this card, the grace of it, the moon. I'm a moon child. The birds, the I just think every bird is a crow, but that probably isn't true. But that she's beckoning, right? She's calling to us. Love it. So, the Empress and the Emperor. Mostly, I have all different decks, but here I just had to have the pair from the Wild Unknown. So, the Emperor is one of my soul cards or essence cards or life cards. Um, how it's about power and order and majesty. Um, I love the inversion of these two cards. I love the way in which this card articulates the feminine, the moon. There's fullness, there's certain austerity, the pointiness, the roundness. Um, I love these two cards together. I love the subtle use of color. I did have to also bring forward the Empress from Dame Darcy second edition, just because she's so voluptuous and delicious, and I love the card stock in this deck. I love the colors. I love the aesthetic, even if there's some issues with copyright and perhaps not the greatest sense of uniqueness and originality in this deck in relationship to the Lo Scarabeo Mermaid deck, but it's still so luscious and lovely. The Hierophant. So this is a difficult card for a lot of people, as opposed to the High Priestess, which can seem so much about intuition and the world of mystery and a deep sort of soul connection to the sacred. The Hierophant can, the Pope can seem like this overburdened, orthodoxy, oppressive, patriarchal force. Tarot of the Crone gives such a great reading of this card. So, tradition, right? And to me, especially as a Buddhist, where lineage is everything, the relationship to the unfolding truth of Dharma is about the relationship of one generation to the next. And I just love the kind of Russian doll, sort of, one generation inside the next, the sense in which our relationship to ancestral tradition isn't about oppression, but is about us being contained within and nourished and nurtured and held within the womb, like the little babushka doll at the center here, held within the very womb, the very heart of tradition. Okay, moving right along. Love or the lovers, or the lover. So, Pagan Otherworlds. Now, this also reveals my kind of early modern Renaissance, my love of old master painters and that kind of oil tradition. So this card echoes, and if I can find a way to drop it into the video, I will. But this card really echoes, I think it's around 1500, Lucas Cranach, the Elders, Adam and Eve. So that sort of notion at the heart of the lover or lovers or the love card of choice. So how does choice, marriage, relationship, romance, partnership, how does this card highlight the freedom at the heart of being human, the way in which we choose, right? So the sort of Adam and Eve, what it means to choose the apple, the free will that does that, and risks that, risks everything for knowledge, the hubris behind that act, but then the ways in which Adam, who's also sort of a Promethean figure here because he's grabbed the fire of the gods, right? The way in which Adam chooses Eve in her choice. That's beautiful. And then, of course, you've got, the serpent at their feet. Okay. 7, the Chariot. So the Chariot, for me, all about slow holler, which is a deck that I haven't really gotten to know very well. I've just flipped through it. I got it in a recent swap. I mean, I love this deck without knowing it well yet. I love the colors. I love the ways in which I love it, the blend of aesthetics. I love the sort of queer Southern feel of it. And then the Chariot. I mean, it's just one of my favorite cards in the deck. So first of all, I am someone who has longed for a red pickup truck. I love how the Fool's dog, in a sense, is, the dog at this figure's side, right? I mean, first of all, I'm a dog person too, but it's, the dog that accompanies us, the freedom, the stars, that sense of forging into the world. I mean, oh man, this is another card that's about freedom, but it's also, I mean, it really is a card that is about taking adventure seriously, really going into the world, really being at the brink of the universe. So I love how this version of the Chariot is a kind of retelling of the Fool's card, but turning it around into not folly, but choice. Okay, strength. So, I mean, this card from the Albano-Waite, this is a card that my husband, he had this particular tarot card from the Albano-Waite since the late 60s. And so, I sort of inherited from him a sense of this particular card from this particular deck having some special meaning. But I also just, this card from the Albano-Waite, it sort of shows everything I love about that deck, just the clarity through the colors and the sharpness of the lines. I don't know. This is the strength card. This is it, right? With the red lion, with the purple mountain and the yellow sky. I just love it. The Hermit from the Thoth deck, and this is a trimmed version of the deck that Bodhi Seed, that's her name on Eclectic Forum, she gave to me. She just gifted to me. I mean, she did a beautiful job of trimming this copy of the Thoth, and the Hermit is just, I mean, to me, the way in which the light here just is split in every direction, that sense of prism and that sense of the sacred mystery being splintered and fractured and filling the world, but also the ways in which, the light once splintered is hard to pull together. The Hermit illuminates the world, but in ways that the world doesn't necessarily see. The Wheel. So this is from Robert M. Place's Buddha Tarot, and it just perfectly, I mean, it captures what for me is the perfect reading of Trump 10, the wheel as the wheel of life within Buddhist mythology. So you've got the pig, the rooster, and the serpent at the center. So that's ignorance, greed, and hatred. The three poisons that propel us on and on in the wheel of rebirth and samsara, our suffering as we keep grasping and we grasp and we push. We don't know who we are. We think that we're eternal, enduring beings. We don't recognize the truth of impermanence. Anyway, lots to say about this card, but I won't say it today. So this is Justice, and it's from the Cheimonette, Eden Gallanter Cheimonette Tarot, and she actually follows the Marseille ordering, so for her, Justice is 8 instead of 11. What I love about this card in Eden's deck, I mean, I love her deck. It's brilliant. I did, about a year ago now, actually, I did an Instagram challenge called the Little Storm Challenge, and focusing on her deck. And that month spent really in deep study of her deck was really, really rewarding. If you haven't gotten a copy of the Cheimonette Tarot, I think it's still available, and it's really, really smart. It's a beautiful deck. So one of the things she says about justice, this is like this world where, you know, things get taken on one side and given on another side. So, the fish wants its tail, the girl wants her legs. This is the world we inhabit, where it's like everything is a zero-sum game. And this is the problem of justice. We're always trying to even things out. It's like, if you've got it, I don't have it. And so in a world where things feel like a zero-sum game, there's huge suffering, and justice is the way to go. Like, even things out. Make sure that we balance things. But, the wheel of life reminds us that there's perhaps another order to the world that isn't just justice. It isn't just about balancing it out. Give me back my legs, I'll give you your tail. It isn't just quid pro quo. There's another way to live. And I think the tarot is actually trying to teach us what that other way to live is. But there's also justice. So there you go. Okay, moving right along. The Hanged Man. So this is from the Wonderland Tarot, and it's actually from the tarot in a tin version. So it has, these are what the backs look like. But the tarot in the tin version, which is really affordable, unlike the out-of-print Wonderland Tarot itself, it's the same size as the Wonderland Tarot. Anyway, the Hanged Man. First of all, this deck, it is a very underrated, undersung deck. It's a really cool, really smart, really delightful deck. Everyone should have it, in my humble opinion. So the Hanged Man, I love it. Okay, so this is the lobster, and what the artist says about the lobster is, or the Hanged Man is, he's suspended over the boiling water, but he's not in the water yet. So that sense of suspension, the sense of sacrifice, right? This poor lobster is going to go to feed somebody. It may be the devil, or it may be the Lord, as Bob Dylan once sang. But you got to serve somebody. So he's got to serve somebody, but he's not dead yet, right? So that sense of suspension, I just think it's funny and cute and adorable. Okay. Death. This is from the Dodal Tarot, and it's just the classic Marseille. This is the Flornoy version, which is just a yummy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful version of this deck. Love it. Love that this death is kind of fleshy, actually. I mean, his this is not what skeletons look like, but it's beautiful. And the classic. There's no name here. Death with its scythe cuts every identity down, cuts away all names, erases all that we are. It's all just body parts in the end. Love it. Temperance from the Crystal Tarot. Okay, so first of all, this is just a beautiful deck. And another deck that is sort of undersung, underrated. The images in this deck are kind of small and they're complex because this was painted on with tempera on glass. So it's just gorgeous. Now, what I love about this version of Temperance, I mean, first of all, it's just beautiful. And then there's something about the medium, this paint on glass, that the quality of the art and the way that the colors blend and mix and create this composite image, to me, that bespeaks the kind of admixture of elements that Temperance is all about. The Devil. Okay, this is my other Margarete Petersen, and I'm going to read from her text again. Confusion, and this is like literal translation of the German because I don't have the English deck. Confusion in the passionate flame, fear and desires, always the same questions and no answers. Regarding the shadows in the mirror, rewinding of memories and emotions, capturing the imagination, only the voice of hunger and thirst can be heard. Thinking becomes impersonal, mechanical, predictable, abused beauty, separation from ourselves. In the sharpened view where the point of brilliance is, new perspectives open up. So in a way, well, one thing that I love about this is that it reminds me how the devil is a version of the Hermit. And I don't know what else to say about that right now because it's sort of an intuition, but the same kind of shattering of the light and the way in which a kind of division, a splintering of ourselves, can open up new views. I really want to study this card. I don't understand it. I think it's beautiful. So I will say more. Maybe I'll do Surrounded by Deck video, Surrounded by Decks, and SBD video on the devil. Okay, this is the Tower, or the Maison de Dieu, sort of traditional Marseille style, but this is from the Spanish tarot. Beautiful. I mean, I love it. It's gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous. It's, this reminds me of the ways in which this card, and this is how Jodorowsky reads it, as like a ecstatic dance, that the roof is blown off, and here, I mean, what the heck is that leaf? I mean, this is not lightning striking. This might be the tumbling out of kind of sacred, like a kind of almost like the Hangman, like a kind of total topsy-turvy kind of revelation, that sort of that positive feeling of the tower as, your head has been blown off, and your world is completely transformed. And it is not a moment to fear. It is a moment of triumph, like, the sort of the bay leaves of the kind of laurel crown, the victory garland. It's really hard to see this as a negative card. This card just seems beautiful and bubbly and vivacious. So I just love that tower. Moving right along. The Star. This is from the Morgan Greer. And I mean, I love this deck. And something, 1979, I mean, it's just like the voluptuous, it's just so, it's so 70s, early 80s, that kind of just, I don't even know. It's just creamy and dreamy. I just, look at her. Yum. Luscious. This may be one of my favorite cards ever. This is from Maggie Stiefvater's Raven's Prophecy deck, and I need to say a lot about this deck. Again, moons, Moonchild. The Raven is eating the moon. But of course he's not eating the moon. The moon is up in the sky, but it's that kind of like, if you, that kind of play of imagination, like your mouth is open. Okay, so you know what I mean. Oh my God. What does it mean to swallow the moon? Okay. Tarot of the She. Love, love, love. The Sun. So like the High Priestess, she's beckoning us. Oh, I'm running out of time. Judgment. So this is from the Aquarian Tarot. It's just all the optimism and beauty and 1970s glory of that deck. Another beckoning image, really sort of like, an echo to the Sun in the Judgment card of the Tarot of the She. These are really different cards, but they both fill me with joy. I mean, this one's a little scary, actually, but just, well, there's so much to say about the Tarot of the She. Oh, God, it's just beautiful. The breath. So the trumpet here, of the sort of more traditional iconography, blowing the trumpet that resurrects us all, sort of the vast sound of awakening, but that's coming from her mouth as she calls us forth. In Ellen Lorenzi Prince's Tarot of the Crone deck, the Judgment card is called The Calling. And I think that idea of being called forth and being someone who has a calling, being someone who's just, the inspiration is pouring out of you in your breath. I love it. Okay, last, The World. So from Visconti Sforza. And, this is so Renaissance. It's like, here we go. Here we have, it's the court, it's the castle, it's the whole world. That optimism about civilization, about what civilized society offers. And remember, the tarot is born in the Renaissance, and it's born in the Italian court. So this is a card that's about the world of the court. You know, the world of power and wealthy people and educated people and lords and ladies playing card games, and falling in love and being beautiful and inspiring artists like Simonetta Vespucci, whose image graced Botticelli's Birth of Venus. She was Venus in that image. So, you know, this world in the Visconti Sforza, this is the world of tarot. This is the world of civilization. This is the world of the 78. I love it. All right. I think I finished. I hope that made sense. It was very quick. Bye.